Look, if you think 50% markup is enough to keep your remodeling business afloat, think again, because that is only giving you a 33% margin. And in this industry, it's not going to cut it.
Hello, this is the Hackhour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Menges.
Welcome to the Hackhour Podcast. I'm Mike Menges. I'm the founder of the Remodeling Academy. My mission is simple. I want to help as many remodelers like you as possible achieve success quicker, faster, and easier than I did. Look, today's episode is something that will change the trajectory of your success. 50% markup is just not enough in this industry. If you're running a remodeling business with a 50% markup and thinking you're making great money, I've got news for you. It's only giving you a 33% profit margin. And for most of you, that's not enough to sustain a business long term in this industry. You have to cover overhead, deal with unexpected risks, and you need to leave yourself with a meaningful profit for all the risk that you're willing to take on. Remodeling it's complicated. It's a high risk, it's a challenging, it is rewarding, but this industry, there are just many variables, right? Think about it. We are a unique business where we mobilize all of our time, energy, and resources. We take it to someone else's location and set up shop, right? There are things that you have to deal with, all the different clients, all the weather, supply chain issues, right? Every job site's different. You're trying to survive on razor thin margins just won't work in this industry. For some of you, if you've come from another industry first, like maybe you were involved in some sort of consulting, or maybe it's fast food, whatever. You had a brick and mortar where everyone came to you. Then you have less variables. So sometimes those businesses, they do survive and operate on razor thin margins. Remodeling doesn't work that way. And I can show you, just look at how many remodelers fail within the first few years. Look around. How many have been in business for 7 years or more? Find me a handful of remodelers that have been in business for 10 years or more and are profitable, right? It is hard to find that because so many people just won't set themselves up for success. Now, in every market, there are a few like unicorn companies. They've been in business for a long time. And yes, they learned somewhere early on that they need to charge a higher profit margin. Once they figured that out, it has set them up for years of success. That's what we want to do for you, is set you up for long-term success. Look, the truth is, most of you are going to be much more and better served by learning how to sell better, how to offer more value so that you can price your work and achieve at minimum a 50% profit margin, right? That's going to be the difference between thriving and just surviving in this industry. Stick with me. I know that some of your heads start spinning when we talk about margin and markup, cost of goods sold, right? You don't understand it, and I get that. I'll show you why higher margins are critical for your success, how to achieve them, and what it looks like to run a profitable remodeling business the right way. Now, let's break down this 50% markup, and so you can see how it really doesn't go as far as you think. When you apply a 50% markup, right? So that means you're multiplying your costs by 1.5 or 1.5. So if your cost of goods sold, your COGS, right? That is encompassing all of your materials, the labor, and any subcontractor fees, right? Let's just say on a particular job, they come out to $100,000. So if you did your 50% markup, you would be charging the client $150,000. Initially, that sounds good, right? Gives you a gross profit of, let's say, $50,000. That sounds good initially. But here's the catch. Your margin, which is the percentage of the selling price that's profit, it's only 33%. And that is because 50% profit divided by $150,000 selling price, right? See, you got to understand how math works. So why is a 33% margin a problem? Because it barely leaves any room for error. In this industry, there will be mistakes, right? And you don't want your business to be teetering constantly on the edge where one mistake, one delay, one client dispute, one miscalculation in materials or labor could cost you the entire profit for a job and even ruin the business just that fast, right? It is, if you're charging super razor thin margins, then it becomes even harder to try to make that up and build yourself any type of a cushion. So the remodeling industry is inherently risky. We are dealing with a complex set of situations all the time, right? Our projects, it involves us taking things apart and then trying to take new things and marry it with old things and build on. If you are the type of guy that if you've built new homes, it's different, right? When you build new homes, you can operate on more of a razor thin margin because once the land's cleared, everything is pretty standard. But in remodeling, there's just way too many variables, okay? So let's understand that we deal with complex project, custom work, and you have clients, right? Sometimes there's going to be changes in how is your change order process. You have to make sure that you're factoring all this in. You just can't afford to operate on thin margins. So, and understand a higher profit margin isn't about greed. It's about your survival. You're doing a disservice to your employees, to your client, and to yourself if you're not charging enough to make sure that you can afford to stay in business. You need to charge a proper profit. So you need to price your work and also account for some of the unexpected things. You want to be able to invest in your team. You want to be able to grow your business. And that starts with you aiming for more of a minimum of 50% margin, right? Not just this 50% markup. Okay. So what does a 50% margin really look like? Well, to achieve a 50% profit margin, you need to double your cost of goods sold when pricing your work. That means that, like, if cost of goods sold for a project are $100,000, your selling price needs to be closer to 200, okay? And this might sound like a big jump, but here's the truth. The right clients will pay for the value. If you can clearly communicate why your services are worth it, your quality, your expertise, right? Your ability to deliver a stress-free experience, your ability to guarantee that you can get the project from start to finish in the designated time frame. Trust me, clients will see that your higher price is more of an investment and not an extra or unnecessary expense. It's interesting. Over the years I was in business in the remodeling space, you recognize quickly clients who've hired more than one contractor for more than one project, they time and time again wanted to deal with the higher priced, more experienced contractor because the likelihood that they had a remodeling project go south when they went with the cheaper priced contractor was so high. I can't tell you, you can just talk around town. So many homeowners get burned over and over again when they went with the cheaper priced contractor. And that just leads to more problems and disasters and costs the client way more in the end, right? It's too high risk. It's not worth it. And you see this, experienced homeowners that have done a lot of remodeling, they know this. And they then recognize that the higher priced contractor is not overcharging. The higher priced contractor is in fact charging the proper price to guarantee that they are going to have enough money and they've accounted for all the things that need to be accounted for so that they can deliver on their promise. Now, understand that when you try to compete on price, it's just a race to the bottom. It's who's going to go out of business first, you or the other low price guy. The reality is both of you are eventually going to go out of business. So instead of racing to the bottom, position yourself as the premium, dependable, reliable choice in the marketplace. At the end of the day, you'll make more money, you'll deliver a better result, and you'll work with better clients. All the things that you want out of being in business. So, how do you move from a 33% margin to a 50% margin? Look, it starts with you learning how to sell properly, right? How to sell better and offer more value. First thing you got to do is focus on the client experience. Clients don't just want a space remodeled. They want a smooth process. They don't want a lot of headaches and issues and time where they don't have good communication, right? You want to be able to clearly communicate your ability to handle everything from design to execution to what we will do when the unexpected happens with professionalism and transparency. 2, educate your clients. Help clients understand the difference between hiring the cheap, high-risk remodeling contractor and hiring the lower risk, high quality remodeler. Make sure that you're using before and after photos, share testimonials, give examples, have case studies, showcase the value of what you offer. Educate the homeowner about the industry and let them know that the majority of homeowners who end up in court, it always circles back to the going with the cheaper price, the price that wasn't realistic from the first place. Remember, sell the transformation, not the task. Instead of saying we are replacing your kitchen cabinets, talk about how you're creating a space where this family, your client, will be able to get together and gather and cook and prepare healthy meals and have nice experiences for birthdays and holidays, right? And make memories for years to come. That's what you're providing. Also, be able to address price objections with confidence. When a client happens to bring up or questions your price, you want to be able to respond with, I understand this is a significant investment. And I want you to be able to explain that your price ensures that the project is going to be done right, that it'll be done without having to cut corners, that it will be done in the appropriate time frame, and that it is going to give the client the long-term value that they desire and return on their investment. So by you learning how to sell value instead of price, you're positioning your business to command the appropriate, technically, as some say, higher price and achieve the margin that you need to succeed. Now, what happens if you decide to stick with your low margins? Let me paint that picture for you. See, here you are. You're going to be constantly juggling bills. You're going to be playing roulette, deciding which bill to pay first, right? Because cash flow is tight and you're like, I don't know, maybe we pay this one this month. Hopefully that one won't get too upset if we don't pay them, right? You'll be stressed out. You're just going to find yourself having to work longer hours. It'll result in you having to rush through jobs, making more mistakes, which is going to cost you more and mean your profit it's just a race. You keep getting worse, right? You'll be dealing with constant stress. You won't be sleeping. You'll have trouble eating because you won't be making enough. You won't be able to hire the appropriate help or invest in the proper tools or the maintenance of the tools that you do own. You just see how everything is going to be falling apart. It's going to just be your one unexpected setback away, one bad client, one delay, or one economic downturn away, and then your entire business will be gone. Now, let's imagine the alternative. You're pricing your jobs for a 50% or better margin. You're working with maybe fewer clients, but you're making more money. You work with better clients, right? You finally have financial breathing room. This allows you to grow. It allows you to get more training. It allows you to offer better services, right? Offer a more professional experience. You're not just surviving, you're finally thriving. That is the future that I want for you. And it starts with the little things today and by you saying, we will aim higher and be better. All right. So today we talked about why this 50% markup isn't most likely going to be enough, why remodelers specifically need higher profit margins to survive, and how you can achieve that 50% margin by selling more value instead of having to cut costs or rush jobs. Look, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, if you haven't already, you need to hop over to the remodelingacademy.com, get your free copy of the Weed the Lead, sign up for the Morning Hammer newsletter. Right? These are resources that are free and they're available for you now. Take advantage of them. Also, for those of you that are curious, sign up. Go to remodelingriches.com. Join the 5-day Remodeler Challenge. No one else in the industry offers this. See how your business stacks up. Discover if you have what it takes to dominate in this remodeling industry. Look, I know you want to be great. You know you want to be great. So start doing things that will enable you to be this great remodeler that you've always wanted to be. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Hackhour Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with someone else, leave us a review. Anything you can do to help it grow, we would appreciate it. And we are excited to watch your business grow as well. Until next time, take care.
Thank you for listening to the Hackhour Podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.